Be me, Sarah, 29 years old, marketing manager at a decent firm in Austin. I've always been the girl who had her shit together. Good job, nice apartment, active social life. I work out 5 times a week, meal prep on Sundays. And yeah, I've been told I'm attractive. Not trying to sound conceited, but I know my worth. High sex drive, confident, independent. The kind of woman men say they want until they actually get her. I've been with Mark for 6 years. We met when I was 23. He was 26. He's a software engineer, now senior level at some tech company. Good guy, stable, pays his half of everything, remembers birthdays, doesn't leave dishes in the sink, treats me well. On paper, he's perfect. But lately, I don't know. Something's been feeling off. Not wrong, exactly. Just repetitive. Same dinner conversations, same weekend routines, same sex positions. We have sex maybe 2 or 3 times a week, which he seems fine with, but I could go every day easily, sometimes twice. I've always had a higher drive, and lately it's been making me feel caged. Mark's attractive in that stable, dependable way. Dark hair starting to get some silver at the temples. Kind eyes, decent build, though he could stand to hit the gym more. When he looks at me, it's with this comfortable affection. Comfortable. That's the word that's been bothering me. When did we become comfortable? 3 months ago, things started shifting in my head. I'd been going to this CrossFit gym, and there's this guy, Connor. Tattoo sleeves, man bun, the kind of guy who looks like he's never had an office job in his life. Total opposite of Mark. He started spotting me during squats, making comments about my form that were definitely flirty. "You've got great control," he said once, and the way he said it made my stomach flip. We'd chat after workouts. He mentioned he was not really the relationship type, which somehow made him more interesting. I found myself thinking about him at work, checking if he'd be at the gym before I went. Nothing happened, but the spark was there. That electric feeling I hadn't had in years. Then came girls' night at Jenna's place 2 months ago. Jenna's 32. My friend from college who got divorced last year. She's been living what she calls her freedom era. Seeing multiple guys casually, no commitments, living her truth. My other friend, Rachel, 30, is in an open relationship with her boyfriend of 4 years. She always seems so alive when she talks about it. We were 3 bottles of wine deep when I mentioned Connor's flirting. "Girl, you're 29, not dead," Jenna said, pouring another glass. "Life's too short to wonder what if." Rachel leaned in, her eyes bright. "Why not just talk to Mark about opening things up? If he really loves you, he'll want you happy. That's what real love is, wanting your partner fulfilled." "Doesn't that bother you though?" I asked. "Your boyfriend being with other women?" She shrugged. "It actually made us stronger. We're choosing each other every day, not just stuck by default. And the sex is amazing now. We have things to talk about, new energy." Jenna nodded enthusiastically. "Monogamy is a patriarchal construct anyway. You think men naturally want just one woman? They've been cheating since the dawn of time. At least this way, it's honest." That night, lying in bed next to Mark, who was snoring softly, completely oblivious, I opened my notes app and started typing. Reasons this makes sense. We're young. Prevents future resentment. Modern couples do this. We're sexually incompatible anyway. Honesty over lying. If we're meant to be, this will prove it. I stared at that list for an hour. Mark rolled over in his sleep, threw an arm across me, his face peaceful, trusting. I felt a pang of something, guilt, doubt, but pushed it away. This wasn't about not loving him. This was about not losing myself. 2 days later, I made his favorite dinner. Steak, medium rare, roasted potatoes, asparagus. I'd rehearsed what to say in the car ride home from work. "I want to talk about something," I said as we sat down. Mark looked up from cutting his steak, those brown eyes attentive. "Okay, what's up?" I took a breath. "I've been thinking about us. about our relationship and how we can grow. Grow? His fork paused midair. I love you. You know that, right? I reached across the table, took his hand. He let me, but his expression was guarded now. I just think we've been together since we were so young, and I'm wondering if we're limiting ourselves by being so traditional. Traditional how? Monogamous. I said it quickly, like ripping off a bandage. I think we should consider opening our relationship, exploring connections with other people. It doesn't mean we love each other less. It means we're secure enough to give each other freedom. Mark just stared at me. His jaw tightened slightly. That thing he does when he's processing. He set down his fork carefully, precisely. So you want to see other people? His voice was even, controlled. I want us both to have the freedom to explore. People who truly love each other want each other fulfilled, right? And I'm not fulfilling you. Now there was an edge. It's not about that. Then what is it about, Sarah? I felt heat rise in my cheeks. It's about growth, about not wondering what if in 10 years, about being authentic. Authentic. He repeated the word like he was testing its weight. And I can see other people too. That's what you want. Of course. It would be equal. We'd both be free. I said yes, but honestly, I didn't think he would. Mark's a homebody. He'd rather play video games on a Friday night than go to bars. The idea of him on dating apps trying to flirt seemed almost laughable. This was basically permission for me. I need to think about it, he said quietly. He slept in the guest room that night, and the next. I oscillated between panic, what if he leaves, and irritation. Why is he being so dramatic? On the third day, he came into the living room where I was working on my laptop. His face was unreadable. Okay, he said. I agree. Relief flooded through me. Really? But we do this right. Complete honesty. No veto power over who we see. No rules about how often or how serious. If we're doing this, we're both completely free. Agreed? Agreed. I jumped up, kissed him. This is going to make us stronger. I love you. He didn't say it back, just nodded and went to the bedroom. That night, I downloaded Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. Mark watched me do it from the couch, then calmly picked up his phone and did the same. I remember laughing, kissing his cheek. You're so cute. This is going to be amazing for us. He didn't smile back, just looked at me with an expression I couldn't read. Yeah, it might be. Within 24 hours, I had over 200 matches. The validation was intoxicating. Connor responded to my message immediately. Been hoping you'd reach out. Drinks this week? We met at a bar downtown on Thursday. He looked even better outside the gym. Fitted black t-shirt, those tattoos on full display. The conversation was easy, flirty. He didn't ask much about my life, which somehow felt freeing. No boring work talk, no discussing bills or whose turn it was to clean the bathroom. We ended up back at his place. The sex was different, rougher, less predictable. He pulled my hair, bit my shoulder. It wasn't better than Mark, exactly, just new. And that newness felt like oxygen after being underwater. I came home around 1 a.m. Mark was still up, reading on the couch. Good night? He asked without looking up. Yeah, really good. That's good. He turned a page. I'm heading to bed. I waited for more. Jealousy, questions, something. But he just stood, kissed my forehead like I was his sister, and went to the bedroom. The next 2 weeks were a blur. I saw Connor twice more, each time that same rush of excitement. I matched with other guys, a lawyer, a bartender, a personal trainer. The attention was addictive. I started dressing sexier, posting gym selfies. Connor liked them immediately. Mark seemed fine. He started waking up earlier, 5:30 a.m. gym sessions before work. I'd hear him leave while I was still in bed. He came home looking energized instead of tired, which was different. New cologne, too, I noticed. Something woodsy and expensive. You smell nice, I commented one evening. Thanks. Figured I'd try something new. He was looking at his phone, smiling slightly at something. Who are you texting? Just coordinating plans for tomorrow. He pocketed the phone. You going out tonight? Meeting someone for drinks? Cool. Have fun. The casual way he said it bothered me. Where was the emotion? The caring? But I pushed the thought away. This was what I wanted. Freedom without drama. 3 weeks in, I tried to initiate sex. We were both home on a Wednesday night, rare these days. I pressed against him on the couch, kissed his neck the way that always worked. I'm pretty tired tonight, he said, gently moving my hand away. Maybe this weekend. I froze. In 6 years, Mark had never turned me down. Never. His sex drive was lower than mine, sure, but he never said no. You're tired? I couldn't keep the edge out of my voice. Yeah. Long day. Early morning tomorrow? He kissed my forehead again, that same brotherly kiss, and went to the bedroom. I lay on the couch, staring at the ceiling, something cold settling in my stomach. 6 weeks into our open marriage, reality started hitting different. Connor ghosted me after I suggested we grab dinner. You know, actually date instead of just hooking up. I texted, "Want to catch a movie this weekend?" 3 days of nothing. Then, "Been busy? Let's keep it casual, yeah?" Oh, I was just a hookup to him. The realization stung more than it should have. I cycled through other matches. The lawyer showed up 30 pounds heavier than his photos and spent the entire dinner talking about his ex-wife. The entrepreneur tried to recruit me into his Amway scheme. The hot ones just wanted nudes before agreeing to meet, and when I refused, they unmatched. Meanwhile, Mark was thriving. He'd lost weight, probably 15 pounds. His jaw was more defined, his clothes fit better. He bought new ones too, I noticed. Jeans that actually fit, button-downs that showed off his shoulders. When did his shoulders get that broad? He was gone most Friday and Saturday nights now. Used to be our Netflix nights, but now he'd shower, put on that expensive cologne, and head out around 7. Come back at midnight, sometimes 2 a.m. He never offered details. "So, you seen anyone?" I asked casually one morning. "A few people, yeah. Nothing serious." He took a sip of coffee, scrolled his phone. Conversation over. The lack of detail was driving me insane. I checked Find My Friends obsessively. He was at nice restaurants, places I'd wanted to try, cocktail bars in the Domain. Once, a hotel bar at the W, and I nearly lost it before reminding myself, this is what you wanted. One Tuesday night, I came home from a disappointing date. The guy spent 20 minutes explaining cryptocurrency to find Mark's bedroom door closed. Water running. I checked the time, 11 p.m. Mark never showered at night. He was a morning shower person, always had been. Something snapped. When he came out, hair damp, wearing just sweatpants, I was standing in the hallway. "Who are you seeing?" It came out more aggressive than I meant. Mark's eyebrows rose. "Why does it matter?" "Because you're my husband. And you're my wife who's been fucking a gym bro for 6 weeks. What's your point?" The bluntness made me flinch. Mark never talked like that. His jaw was tight now, eyes harder than I'd ever seen them. "That's different. I'm exploring. You're replacing me." "How is it different, Sarah? Explain it to me." He crossed his arms, water still dripping down his chest. His toned chest. When did he get abs? "You're supposed to be here, for us." "I am here. Every night you don't go out. You're the one who wanted this open." "I'm just participating." "Not like this. You were supposed to—" "What?" He stepped closer. "Sit home while you lived your fantasy? Wait around like a good little puppy while you got your needs met?" "Sorry. That's not how this works." Tears started. I couldn't help it. "You're changing everything." His expression softened slightly, but he didn't comfort me. Didn't pull me into a hug like he would have before. No, Sarah, you changed everything. I'm just adapting. He walked past me into the bedroom and closed the door. I stood there in the hallway, tears on my face, and called Jenna. He's seeing people, I said, when she answered. Okay? That was the agreement, wasn't it? But he's actually doing it, like, seriously dating. Jenna sighed. What did you think would happen? You got what you wanted. Why are you mad he's doing the same thing? I hung up, unsatisfied. Nobody was getting it. 2 weeks later came Jessica's birthday dinner. Upscale Italian place downtown, about 15 of us. I'd been anxious all week. Mark had been distant, gone most nights. I got there early, already 2 glasses of wine, deep by the time people started arriving. Jessica hugged me, whispered, You okay? You look stressed. I'm fine, I lied. We were chatting, laughing, when my phone buzzed. Mark. Running 10 minutes late, bringing someone. My stomach dropped. Someone? I texted back, Who? No response. 10 minutes later, the door opened. Mark walked in with a woman. Not just any woman. Vanessa from my old gym. Vanessa who all the guys used to stare at. Vanessa who I possibly told people was probably dumb and just a pretty face with no substance because I was jealous. She was wearing a simple sundress, minimal makeup, and looked absolutely stunning. Natural beauty, the kind you can't fake. And Mark was pulling out her chair, his hand on the small of her back, looking at her like he used to look at me. Everyone, this is Vanessa, Mark said calmly. His eyes met mine briefly. No guilt, no apology. Just neutral. Hi. Vanessa's smile was warm, genuine. She immediately complimented Jessica's earrings. Those are gorgeous. Where did you get them? Jessica lit up, started talking about some boutique. The table warmed to Vanessa immediately. She asked people about themselves, laughed at their jokes, seemed genuinely interested in their answers. She was nice, authentically nice. I wanted to hate her so badly, but watching her I realized there was nothing to hate. So how do you two know each other? Someone asked. Please say work colleagues. Please say old friends. We matched on Bumble about a month ago, Mark said easily. The table got quieter, Vanessa completely comfortable. He was really upfront in his profile about being in an open marriage. I really respected that honesty. All eyes shifted to me. I felt my face burning. Wait, open marriage? Someone else asked. Jessica tried to redirect. Hey, should we order appetizers? But it was too late. Mark looked at me, then back at the table. Yeah, Sarah and I decided to explore other connections. It's been good for both of us. Right, Sarah? Everyone was staring. Yeah, I forced out. It's been educational. Mark's hand was on Vanessa's shoulder. She leaned into him slightly. The casual intimacy of it made me want to scream. That's so modern, someone said awkwardly. The conversation moved on, but I couldn't focus. I was watching them. The way she touched his forearm when she talked. The way he leaned in to hear her better. When did he start doing that? Someone mentioned his promotion. My head snapped up. Promotion? Mark looked uncomfortable for the first time. Yeah, about 3 weeks ago, senior engineer to lead architect. You didn't tell me. You didn't ask. His tone wasn't mean, just factual. Vanessa asked him questions about his work, intelligent questions. She understood tech. They had a whole conversation about system architecture that went over my head, and I watched him get animated, passionate. When did I stop asking about his work? I couldn't take it anymore. I went to the bathroom, and Vanessa followed a minute later. Hey, she said at the sinks. I looked at her reflection. Even fluorescent lighting couldn't make her less pretty. So you're cool with dating a married guy? I couldn't keep the edge out. She dried her hands slowly. He's in an open marriage. He's been nothing but honest with me. And he seems really happy, which is what matters. You know, this is just temporary, right? We're married. We have history. Her expression shifted, not angry, just pitying. That's between you two. I'm just enjoying getting to know him. He's a really good guy. Yeah, well, he was my good guy first. Was he, though? She turned to face me fully. You're the one who opened the door. She left me standing there. Back at the table, they were taking group photos. Vanessa rested her head on Mark's shoulder. He wrapped his arm around her, pulled her close. His face, God, his face looked so happy, relaxed, present. You guys look really cute together, someone said. Mark smiled. Thanks. She makes it easy. When did he stop saying things like that about me? Dinner ended. Mark offered to drive Vanessa home. You're not coming home? I asked. I'll be back later. He didn't ask when I'd be home. Didn't care. I watched them leave together. She was laughing at something he said, her hand naturally finding his. He opened the car door for her. The gut punch. He's fallen for her. That night, he came home at 2 a.m. I was waiting on the couch. We need to talk about boundaries, I said. He sighed, but sat down. We agreed no boundaries. What's the problem? The problem is you're dating that girl seriously. And you weren't fucking Connor seriously? That was different. How? Because you decided it was? His voice was still calm, which somehow made it worse. Because Connor was just physical. You're getting emotionally involved. So emotional connections are off limits, but physical ones are fine? That's not what you said 6 weeks ago. I started crying. Real tears, not manipulation. I think we should go back to monogamy. No. Just no. That simple. What do you mean, no? I'm your wife. And you were my wife when you asked for this. You don't get to change the rules because you're losing. I'm not losing. Aren't you? He looked at me. Really looked at me. Connor ghosted you. Your dates are disasters. Meanwhile, I'm actually connecting with someone. So yeah, Sarah, you're losing. And that's why you want to stop. The truth of it hit like cold water. Please, I whispered. I made a mistake. His expression softened slightly. Maybe you did, but I didn't. This is the most honest our relationship has ever been. You wanted authenticity? This is it. He went to bed. I sat there until sunrise. The next few weeks were torture. I tried every card I had. The seduction card. I initiated sex. He went through with it, but it was mechanical. After, he checked his phone. Vanessa's name lit up the screen. He smiled. Can you not do that right now? I snapped. Do what? Text her while I'm right here. You text Connor in front of me all the time. Connor and I aren't exactly. Vanessa and I are. The money card. If you want a divorce, fine. I'll take half. He didn't even blink. Okay, we can split assets. I make more now anyway, and we don't have kids. Clean break if that's what you want. His willingness to walk away destroyed something in me. I stalked Vanessa's Instagram like a crazy person. Her feed was full of her at children's hospitals, mission trips to Guatemala, photos with her huge family. One caption, so grateful for the amazing people in my life. Mark was in the photo, his arm around her shoulders, his comment, right back at you. He used an emoji. Mark never used emojis. 3 months after this all started, I was alone on a Friday night. All my dating apps were deleted. Connor had texted last week. You up? I didn't respond. I was scrolling Instagram when Mark's story popped up. He was in Bali, beach at sunset, Vanessa in his arms, both of them glowing, her smile radiant, his face peaceful. Caption, found what I was looking for? The comments killed me. You deserve this, bro. She's amazing, man. So happy for you. Even his mom commented, she's a keeper. I stared at our wedding photo on the mantle. Young, hopeful versions of us. I looked so confident. He looked so in love. I picked up my phone, started typing, "Can we talk?" Deleted it. Opened my notes app. That entry from 3 months ago, reasons this makes sense. I added one more line. It didn't. I thought opening our marriage would set me free. Turns out I was just unlocking the door for him to leave. And the worst part, I can't even be mad. He gave me exactly what I asked for. I wanted freedom to explore. He explored. I wanted passion. He found it. Just not with me. Vanessa isn't the villain. Connor isn't the villain. Mark isn't the villain. I am. I wanted the validation of being desired by other men, but I took for granted the one man who actually loved me. I thought his stability was boring. His consistency was weakness. His kindness was something I could exploit. I was wrong about all of it. Now I'm 29, single in every way that matters, watching my husband fall in love with a woman who's better than me in every way I pretended not to care about. She's kind where I was critical, present where I was distracted, grateful where I was entitled. I didn't want an open marriage. I wanted permission to cheat while he waited. He called my bluff, and now I'm the one left behind, and now I get to live with that.